My name is Brian Craig, and man, do we have a lot to cover today. Tucker Carlson is just changing everything. I mean, he is just Fox. What a mistake Fox News made, right? Little did they know what they were going to do for this country by letting Tucker go. Fox News.
Brian Craig.
Oh man, do we have a lot to talk about today. This is so exciting. I left home early today. Not that it gets me on the air any earlier, but I was so excited I left early anyway, so I can stand here and pace for a couple of minutes. Huge stuff going on today. Welcome, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. It is Wednesday, September 6th. Oh, my goodness, September 6th already, and it's Wednesday already? My goodness, we've got a lot to cover on the program today, guys, and we're going to cover a lot. But Tucker Carlson has done it again. He's done another interview. It is a groundbreaking, historic interview, and it is with Larry Sinclair, who has made all those claims about Barack Hussein Obama. And on the program today. And what's going on with Tucker Carlson is amazing. And, you know, the way I would describe what Tucker is doing, it's amazing what Tucker Carlson is doing. But the way I would describe what Tucker Carlson is doing is he's changing everything in the media landscape, no doubt about that, with the interviews that he's doing. But he is interviewing people and talking to them about things that we have maybe known about. He hasn't broken a lot of news, although he did break some when he had the chief of police of the Capitol Police, who was the police chief of the Capitol Police on January 6th. There was some news that was broken during that interview that we had not heard from the source's mouth. But you look at these interviews. Larry Sinclair. This Larry Sinclair interview will drop on Twitter at 6 p.m. Eastern Time today. 6 p.m. Eastern, less than 12 hours away on the Twitter, which is now called X. President Trump's interview, the Capitol Police Chief, Andrew Tate. These interviews that Tucker Carlson is doing this is really astounding what he's doing. He's interviewing these people that we know about. He hasn't discovered anyone. He's talking to them about a lot of things that we in the conservative world have known about. But what he's doing that's new, like with this Larry Sinclair is the guy that made all the gay sex claims about Obama. And I'm going to play some audio of that interview in a few minutes. These are things that if you're conservative, you've known about, and you may have even read about, or even heard some of these things before, but they were in conservative news. Breitbart, the Gateway Pundit, good credible sources, but they were in conservative news sites and have never made it to the mainstream. And the mainstream media with all of these stories, they've known about them, but they've never covered them. Never. Acted as if they didn't exist. And what Tucker Carlson is doing is bringing all of these taboo topics to the mainstream for the very first time. Like Larry Sinclair, his interview with Trump, the Capitol Police. These are taboo topics in the mainstream media. And most people, if you're listening to me, which you are now if you're hearing my voice, you get your media, you get your information from people like me and conservative media things. But most people do not. And I know this is hard for a lot of people to believe in the MAGA movement, but most people still get their news from the mainstream media. All right? And if you get your news and information from the mainstream media, these are things that you do not know about that Tucker Carlson is bringing. And not only is he bringing these taboo topics that the media have refused to discuss, reference, or report on over the years, he's not only bringing it into the mainstream, he's reaching more people with these stories than ever would have been reached before by them, all at once. his impact is off the charts. I think it is impossible to even measure the impact of Tucker Carlson on this, okay? I really do believe that. I don't think you can measure it at all. That's how big this is. Now, with this Larry Sinclair interview that Tucker did, which is just going to be insane, a lot of people are going to tell you, and don't fall for this. Oh, this is old news. We've known about this. I've known about this. Right? How arrogant, or maybe that's fake MAGA, to take taboo topics and expose them to the mainstream population that have never heard. You know, Larry Sinclair's name is almost a household name in conservative circles. Okay, those of us who are conservative have known not only who the name Larry Sinclair. You don't need to be explained who it is. You know, and we've known since Obama. Now, I was trying to think this morning. Larry Sinclair, I remember reading his story in the National Enquirer. Was that the first time that it was reported in the National Enquirer? I'm not sure. Did Larry Sinclair's story first drop in conservative media during the Obama campaign in 2008 or after he was president? It's hard for me to remember. So many scandals came out about Barack Obama when he was running for president. We just lost Joe the Plumber last week. That was a big one. Jeremiah Wright, Larry Sinclair. I just can't remember what, obviously the Joe the Plumber incident and Jeremiah Wright were during the campaign. Larry Sinclair, I can't remember if that was during the campaign or after he was in office, Barack Obama. But Barack Obama was president. Can you imagine? He was elected 15 years ago. Isn't that crazy? It's hard to believe that he was first elected, Barack Obama, 15 years ago. It's been that long. And it's taken 15 years for this story, the Larry Sinclair story, to make it to the masses, and it'll happen tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time with Tucker Carlson. It's amazing. That's how far behind the news. The news is old. They don't want. They're in the business of covering up the news, not reporting it. And this Larry Sinclair interview with Tucker tonight is important for many, many reasons, of which I'm going to discuss on the program today. Now, after the first break, I'm going to play some of this historic interview to you. You will not want to miss this. Your calls are certainly welcome at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. And I'm going to tell you why it's important, okay? Why the interview is important. It's important for a variety of reasons. Okay, right now, the two most important people on this planet are Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson. Okay? I want you to think about that. The two most important people on the planet Earth are Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson. Because these two men are going to save, they're doing it. They are saving our civilization as we know it. And I know that sounds crazy. That sounds extreme, like a big deal. No. You know, when history is being made and you're living through it, you don't always realize the significance of events. The events that are taking place right now, there's a lot of American heroes out there. Donald Trump, Tucker Carlson, Mark Meadows, who I talked about extensively, Mark Meadows, on my podcast last night. We are living through a time when there are great American heroes. Those are three of them. Donald Trump is number one. Tucker Carlson's number two. And there are many on that top 10 list. They are saving our entire civilization. Don't you understand that? They're not just saving the American system in the United States. They're saving our civilization, which is a worldwide civilization, from these globalists and many others. Do not let anyone get away with telling you that this Larry Sinclair interview is old news and things we already know. Just because you know about it and I know about it does not mean the majority of the world know about it. You can live in a conservative bubble and lose touch with the mainstream. Don't let that happen. Do not let people discount this. And if people discount this interview with Larry Sinclair as old news, blah, 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 nothing new here, look at that person closely and ask yourself, are they fake MAGA? Like Ron DeSanctimonious? Because everything is changing right now. It's not about to change, it's changing. Courtesy of Fox News Channel in large part for letting Tucker Carlson go. So if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our first break of this Wednesday morning edition of the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. My name is Brian Craig. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. When we get back, I'll take some calls, and I'm also going to play the clips of the interview that I have of Larry Sinclair with Tucker Carlson, and it will blow your mind. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now.
Clips of the interview that I have of Larry Sinclair with... Oh, yeah. This is so exciting, guys. This is so exciting. I'm excited. You guys excited? Absolutely. How could you not be excited? Oh, man. How do you guys like my thumbnail I created there? The thumbnail on this video? I made that thumbnail myself. I've been learning how to do these things. It's hard. I got a small operation, me and my wife, to do these things. Fox did the world a favor letting Tucker go. Yeah. Yep. That's right. Yeah, I was going to get into Breitbart when we get back. It is very good stuff, Freedom Soup. A listener sent me such a cool gift. It doesn't have their name in it, but I think I know who sent it. I'll show it to you guys at the bottom of the hour. I don't have time now to show it. What they sent me is so super cool. It's in this little old envelope right here. I'll show you guys at the bottom of the hour. Mm-hmm. How exciting. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe if you're new. Hey, what's up? I started the recording a little late. I forgot to hit the... We might have a new sponsor coming on, and they have to run on days that Barry Siegel doesn't call. What days does he call? Friday, Tuesdays, and there's a third day. Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah.
So it'll have to run Monday and Wednesday. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. But I started this like 5 minutes late. But that's okay.
I'll sandwich it. It's fine. It's actually really easy.
Second generation owner and CEO Larry McIntyre and his co-host Wayne Allen. 4 p.m. Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. right here on the True Open. Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig, our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. If you're just tuning in, Tucker Carlson has another historic interview. It's with Larry Sinclair, who claims to have done cocaine and had gay sex with Obama. Tucker Carlson has interviewed him. The entire interview will drop at 6 p.m. Eastern on Twitter. Am I the only one that can call it X? On X. You know, a lot of people are calling it X so that they sound hip in the media. It's Twitter. Okay? The social media platform formerly known as Twitter. This is a huge interview, and I'm going to play some of it for you in just a moment. But first I want to ask you if you have neuropathy, or do you know someone who does? Neuropathy is living torture. The symptoms of neuropathy make life unlivable. Steve had every neuropathy symptom under the stars, and he went to his doctor, who sent him to a specialist. They all told him, he went to a neurologist, there's no treatment for neuropathy, that's your life. And we had to do something about it because we had our cruise coming up and things like this, and Steve he couldn't hardly get out of bed. He was like Charlie Bucket's grandparents in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory because of the neuropathy. And I actually went on a search to find Steve help for his neuropathy, and I found it right here at Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. And Steve went in there before we talked to you guys about it, and he had their neuropathy treatment. And Lighthouse Medical Center rid him of all his neuropathy symptoms, and they could do the same for you. The numbness, the pain, the burning, the tingling in the hands and feet, the muscle weakness, the dizziness, the loss of balance, the feeling of pins and needles in the hands and feet. Some people actually have no feeling at all. Some have all these symptoms simultaneously, and some of them it's like a rotation, you know, of symptoms. Lighthouse Medical Center, by the way, if you can't make it in person in Pompano, they can still help you no matter where you're located. You can find them online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. I'm going to give you the number. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show, because if you do, you get a no-charge consultation. Everybody else has to pay for that, but you get a no-charge consultation, okay, if you mention you heard of them on the radio. Here's the number, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. The neuropathy treatment works. I've seen it work on Steve Kane and many of our listeners. 754-222-6642. All right, so Tucker gave us a sneak peek, like he did of the Trump interview, which is very good. It's I guess a teaser trailer is the best way to describe it. And the person he is interviewing is Larry Sinclair, a household name in conservative circles since 2008, but new to the world. Larry Sinclair claims to have had gay sex and done drugs with Barack Hussein Obama. So here's the teaser trailer. Listen to this. Or whatever device you're listening to me on, turn it up. The full interview will air at 6 p.m. Eastern Time today on Twitter. Okay? All right, you have your radio turned up loud? Okay, here we go.
You're just a guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah, pulled up in a bar outside, and there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Even though you had sex with him twice, you did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice, you had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
Let me just ask the obvious question. What was Obama like on Unpack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like, what is that?
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't Islam.
The guy's running for president, and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
Wow. Can't wait for that. What are you doing this afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern Time? I know what I'm doing. I will be watching that entire interview with Larry Sinclair. So, okay, this is important for so many reasons, okay? One, I want to restate what I said at the top because this is very important. This is so important because I'm already seeing this happen all over social media, okay? And I know it's going to happen all day long with people. First, the conservative MAGA people that I put in quotation marks, because I would question if they're really conservative or MAGA, or never Trumpers or Uniparty people that have infiltrated our movement. You're going to get the first wave of people that say, this is old news, we know this. Not everybody knows what you know, okay? This story, I've known about this story since it first happened. Okay, I know about this story since it first happened. I remember reading it on the air. It was in Breitbart and other places. But most people do not get their news and information from the places we do. When I say we, I don't mean the royal we. I mean you and me, conservatives, MAGA people. They get their news from the mainstream media. This will be the first time, when this drops on Twitter today, this will be the first time most Americans have heard the name Larry Sinclair or this story. That will be very shocking to people, in particular in the liberal black community where they don't care for gay people too much. Okay? Now, this here is another important aspect of this. One of the greatest journalists of our time was the late, great Andrew Breitbart, the founder of Breitbart. Breitbart was amazing. You know, he mentored James O'Keefe. Did you know that? Yeah. James O'Keefe learned his craft through Andrew Breitbart. Andrew Breitbart spoke at CPAC. Remember this? Andrew Breitbart spoke at CPAC and said that he had tapes that were going to bring down Obama that showed his past associations. And he gave a lot of detail. Remember that? Then he was at a bar in Brentwood, California, O.J. Simpson's neighborhood, old neighborhood. He was seen at the bar having drinks with an unidentified man. And then, as he walked home, he dropped dead on the sidewalk. Many people, including me, believe there was foul play involved. One of the reasons I believe there's foul play involved with Andrew Breitbart is because he had gone out and said he had these things, and we never saw the tapes. The tapes were never released. They released one clip of something that they claimed was the tape. It was not the tape. It was something of Obama in college at some event. That was not it. We never saw the tapes that Andrew Breitbart referenced ever after his death. Ever. Okay? And I know people like Steve Bannon have said there's no conspiracy. But I believe there was. Second thing about it, not only did we not see the tapes that he was referencing, the coroner in Los Angeles, before there was an autopsy, gave a cause of death to the press. They said a heart attack. When is a medical examiner given a cause of death before an autopsy before? Never saw it before Andrew Breitbart. That was also a red flag. It is very possible that if Andrew Breitbart was killed, and it is possible that he was, very possible, that it was because of this, Larry Sinclair. That's right. This very well may be the story that Andrew Breitbart died for, that Tucker Carlson is bringing us tonight. Okay? I want you to think about that and appreciate that. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our break and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Okay, so a listener sent me something. Oh, I got to check something. I'm going to show it to you. Hold on. I grabbed these from in there. I don't know which is which. Are they the same? Okay, so... Okay, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I grabbed these from in there, so...
This is here just in case as well.
Okay.
Thin enough.
So let me show you this. A listener sent me this, this is super freaking cool. Okay, they sent me two things. One, this is a special commemorative coin of Trump's mugshot. Isn't that cool? That is really awesome. This is hardcore collectible stuff. Okay? And then, everything comes in these cool things. Look at this. This is absolutely amazing. And this is like an amazing gift to give me, and I'll tell you why in a second. This is a real, this is real. This is a real $2 bill. This is actual legal tender with some artistry done to it. This is a real United States $2 bill with this beautiful artwork of President Trump's mugshot. And I got to tell you, I think I know who sent this, so I'm going to text them after the show. And that's a real $2 bill. And, you know, the cool thing about this $2 bill, because nobody knows this, the $2 bills are from the bicentennial. You know, a lot of them are. I am a collector of $2 bills. I collect $2 bills. Not that they're worth more than $2, although this one is. This is valuable right here. I collect $2 bills and bicentennial quarters. And the reason I collect the bicentennial quarters and $2 bills like this one is to give to my daughter, to give to her kids, my grandkids, when I'm long dead on the tricentennial in 2076. But look at that. Isn't that amazing? That's a real $2 bill. That is super cool. And it comes with a certificate of authenticity and a great holder for it, and even a plastic bag to put it in. I mean, this is just an amazing gift. Absolutely. I'm so excited to have it. Yeah, I really... Because I don't think anybody knows that I collect... oh, yeah, I have Eisenhower dollars. I have a bunch of those, too. The bicentennial quarters are not worth anything. This is valuable. It's just like a memento, so that my grandchildren will remember me in 2076. I know, this is just an amazing gift. I'm so excited to... I'm pretty sure I know who sent this, but I don't want to thank them here until I verify it. I don't want to thank the wrong person, but I'm going to text them. I have their number. Isn't that nice? It's beautiful. I put that in the safe deposit box. Yeah, and then the coin is awesome too. The mugshot coin. Yeah, this is pretty cool. It is awesome collectible. Okay. That'll be, oh yeah, absolutely beautiful. I'm going to come back with the trailer. Make sure you guys like the video, and if you're new, subscribe. It is an awesome gift. All right, we're coming back. It's the last commercial. I have a lot of Hawaiian shirts. I'm not sure. Is it Jefferson? Who's on the $2 bill? I've got so many of them. I haven't looked at them in ages. I haven't packed away. You can still get regular $2 bills if you ask for them at the bank. But that's a collectible. That's a beautiful collectible. Andrew Jackson? No. I want to say Jefferson.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
You're just a guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah, pulled up in a bar outside, and there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Even though you had sex with him twice, you did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice, you had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
Who's asking the obvious question? What was Obama like on Unpack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like what is that?
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't as long.
The guy's running for president, and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
Wow. Larry Sinclair interviewed by the great Tucker Carlson. Oh, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Harvey, live from Daytona Beach.
Hey, Harvey.
How the hell do you live with yourself? You're such a sick little twerp. It's unbelievable.
I'm sick?
No. Yes, you're a sick person.
What?
Person.
What makes you say I'm sick?
So first of all, you worship this freaking loser, Donald J. Trump. Your whole day since I've been listening to you again. I didn't hear you for 10 years.
I know.
You used to worship Bush. Now you worship Trump.
But we're not talking about Bush. We're not talking about the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. We're talking about the media, Tucker Carlson, and Larry Sinclair and Barack Obama.
Well, that's your diversion for the day.
No, you're the one who's diverting. I've got a topic on the table. You're diverting. What are your thoughts on this Tucker Carlson interview?
That's what I hate that bald-headed son of a bitch with his phony toupee. I can't stand it.
Who wears a toupee? Who wears a toupee? Tucker Carlson wears a toupee? Sure you have. Tucker Carlson.
He's a bald bastard, that's all he is.
What's wrong with being hairless?
Well, why didn't he just take his...
Let me tell you, you have a problem with him wearing a toupee. You have a problem with Tucker wearing a toupee, but Obama doing crack and having sex with men, that doesn't bother you.
I don't know what the hell that has nothing to do with today. Today we're talking about your friend Trump.
No. Excuse me. We're not talking about Trump or Epstein right now. We're talking about Tucker Carlson, Larry Sinclair, and Barack Obama, who is believed to be running the government right now, a shadow government, not Joe Biden.
I don't give a damn about Barack Obama. He's a CIA agent. We always knew that. You don't know the facts about anything. You just some propaganda bullshit.
Oh, there we go. All right, okay. See, this is what happens. Harvey, I think I hit the delay. I hit the delay. Did you want to double check, Mike? I hit the delay. I hit the dump button. See, he couldn't deal with it. He wanted to talk about everything else. See, a lesser talent would fall into this trap of talking about everything but the Larry Sinclair. You know what I'm going to do just for Harvey? I can't take any calls until the delay builds back up. Let me play the clip of the Tucker Carlson interview with Larry Sinclair again while we're waiting for the delay to build back up. All right? Thanks, Harvey, for giving me this opportunity.
You're just a guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah, pulled up in a bar outside, and there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Even though you had sex with him twice, you did did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice. You had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
Let me just ask the obvious question. What was Obama like on crack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like what is that?
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't as long.
The guy's running for president, and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
All right, yeah, the delays re-engage. What happened with Harvey there is he couldn't comment on it. He didn't know where to go, so he forced me to discontinue the phone call by using profanity. That's what they do. I love these trolls who tell it, oh, I didn't listen for 10 years. Well, you're listening now, Harvey. You're listening now. So there's a lot to break down from just this one little clip. Wait until we have the whole interview. Oh, man, I hope it's like a whole hour. I hope it is. I'll savor every second of it. But my first question to you, with this Larry Sinclair interview that Tucker Carlson masterfully has done, obviously, yeah. Do you think this is the story that Andrew Breitbart was killed for? Do you think that Andrew Breitbart is dead because he was going to report this? 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike. Am I going to have to use the dump button for you, too, like that liberal? Oh, my goodness. He was triggered, wasn't he?
Oh, well, was he ever?
I mean, how can a guy come on this show and tell me that he's got a beef with Tucker because he says he wears a toupee, which I don't think so. But, you know, whatever. I've seen him out in some windy days. A toupee bothers him, but crack cocaine and gay sex, that doesn't faze him. That's unimportant. That's a distraction. Toupees are what's important.
Oh, yeah. I would assume that he's done, well, I won't get into what he's done, but I would assume that it doesn't bother him that Biden's been doing cocaine as well, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, you're right. This is a big interview. I will be listening to this interview. And here's the thing about Tucker. Imagine where we would be now if they had let Tucker keep doing that 5-part series on the J6 tapes.
Yeah, you know, well, and that's going to happen. You know, this is an amazing thing that Fox News did. Fox News. Now, this is according to Megyn Kelly, who I consider her to be in the know on these things. Tucker still works for Fox. They just took him off the air. And their plan was to silence him by keeping him on contract as long as possible. And then when the contract ended, he would have a non-compete, which would keep him away from any audience, and certainly until after the election, and he'd be old news and washed up. Well, he had some clause in his contract that allows him to do what he's doing on Twitter so long as he's not paid for it. And so he's totally free range. And as corrupt as Fox News has become, this incredible Tucker on Twitter, now Tucker on X, is courtesy of Fox News and their stupidity.
You know, he's doing this interview, a great President Trump interview. He did the interview with Viktor Orban, and I think at some point he's going to go over to Russia and do an interview with Putin.
That's right. You know, it's amazing because I was just saying to myself the other day, how is Tucker going to keep this momentum going? Right? Over 250 million viewed the interview that he did with President Trump. That is the most viewed interview in history. Okay? What's he going to do to top it? And then look what he did. Larry Sinclair, and what Tucker did was absolutely masterful. It's the kind of marketing that President Trump does. So last week, Tucker did that interview with Adam Carolla. Adam Carolla interviewed Tucker. He was a guest. And in the middle of the interview, he just brings up Larry Sinclair and the gay sex and all this stuff with Obama. And everyone's been talking about that. And here we are a week later, and he drops the interview. So he either already had done the interview or was about to do it last week, and he created this interest in Larry Sinclair on Adam Carolla's show last week, and now he's got the interview. This is amazing what Tucker is doing.
This is why we should care about this interview, because think about this. This is what's been going on lately? Obama's been in the news because of the death of his cook or whatever he was, and other things, and the fact that this fits right into the thing with Biden doing cocaine. I mean, if Obama's doing cocaine,
well, don't forget, we got with Obama, we got three things. I mean, three strikes you're out, right? We've got this Larry Sinclair interview. We've got the death of the chef, which is very strange. And then in between all of this, those letters from his old girlfriend with his gay sex fantasies. Obama, remember that? Like last week or the week before. So we've got three strikes on Obama on this, all around the same time.
Right, and think about. I mean, the press didn't want to when he was coming out, running for president, didn't want to talk about people he was surrounding himself with. You know, like Father Flager and all these other people.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Flager. Oh, yeah. There's so many scandals around Obama. It's hard to remember. Hey, Mike from Louisiana, take care. Now, our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening to us, 1-888-465-2631. If you're on hold, stand by. Back with your calls after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Let me know, guys, in the chat, yes or no. Is this the story that Andrew Breitbart died for? What do you think, yes or no? No other answers, yes or no? Because I think it is, quite possibly, yes. Yeah. One no, a lot of yeses. Only one no. Two no. Oh, no doubt. Okay. Yeah, Joan Rivers too, yeah. The great Joan Rivers. Funniest woman that ever lived, Joan Rivers. Is this the... Mary missed the question. Is this the story that Andrew Breitbart died for? Have you all liked the video? Please do. I did a live stream on the car on the way in, and I'm going to probably do a live stream leaving when I leave the radio station today too. So make sure you got those notifications clicked. Might have a meeting after the show. I'm not sure. I've lost track. I don't keep any of my meetings or appointments in a calendar. They're right here. Oh, this is huge. I can't wait for 6 o'clock tonight. Well, thank you, Bobby. Oh, Tucker's amazing. I'm going to play the trailer out of all the breaks, pretty much all the breaks today.
Interested in receiving healthy recipes and a whole lot more in your email? Then register at Healthiest Way.
I don't think you mind. Think people don't mind if I play the clip out of every break?
This message is sponsored by the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida, the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like it. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside, everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road. We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
Guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah, pulled up in a bar outside, and there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Oh,
Even though you had sex with him twice, you did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice. You had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
Let me just ask the obvious question. What was Obama like on crack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like what is this?
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't as long.
The guy's running for president, and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Tucker, tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, we'll have the full interview with Larry Sinclair. That's the trailer. Oh, what a beautiful trailer that is. Welcome back. Call us on hold, stand by. Now, I want to just talk for a moment about the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, Mike Lindell. This special I'm about to tell you about will end this week. Okay, they've told me it's going to end this week. And I'm talking about the MyPillow mattresses. Now, of course, I don't talk about the MyPillow mattresses often. You usually hear me talk about the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which I sleep on every night, because the mattresses at MyPillow do not typically have specials that are like the one that is going on right now. This was a Labor Day special that they have extended through this week, but at the end of the week, this will be gone. And Mike Lindell has every kind of mattress you can imagine. Foam mattress, coil mattresses, double-sided mattresses, and others. And he has every mattress size there is available as well. Right now, on all MyPillow mattresses, with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, 50% off all MyPillow mattresses, 50% off all MyPillow mattresses, and another $100 off on top of that with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. So if you need a mattress, or you may be needing one in the near future, this is the time to do it. 50% off all mattresses, plus another $100 off that 50% with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. Never seen a deal like this on the MyPillow mattresses, and this will expire this week. And it's very unusual for them to tell me when a special is expiring. They're usually, they keep them going until the inventory starts to run low, and then we just find out. This one they have told me. This week is it. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea. Wow, it's going to be some big interview tonight, huh?
Sounds like. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Remember 2 weeks ago, you dropped that story about the tape that they had on Joe Biden, and that's why they raided Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago?
Mm-hmm.
Or was that tape why Obama spied on Trump at Trump Tower?
No, I think they were spying on Trump Tower to find, it was Oppo research for the Hillary Clinton campaign. They were trying to look for something they could use against him, and I believe that the spying on Trump Tower, which is where President Trump lived and his campaign headquarters were in 2016, I think that's how they found out about the Access Hollywood tape. I think Trump and his team were talking about things that might come up that they might have to respond to, and that's how they found out about it, in my opinion.
Well, that's a good point. I also think it's super interesting that anytime somebody crosses a Democrat, they have an unfortunate accident.
Well, this very well, I do believe it's more likely than not that this is the story that Andrew Breitbart died for.
That I 100%, after everything that's come out now, I'm believing everything.
Oh, yeah.
Everything that seems sinister, 100% believing it all now. Because I'm like, the gift that Trump gave us is look at everything we know now. Like, he just literally ripped the curtain down.
Well,
It should thank him.
and let's also thank Fox News for screwing up and letting Tucker go with this loophole in his contract that allows him to do what it is he's doing. Now, this is amazing what Tucker's doing.
But look at how cool Tucker is now that he's off the leash and really saying what he believes is true.
I worry about him. I worry about him. I was talking yesterday about, I watched this interview with Ben Shapiro over the weekend. Ben Shapiro said that he spends 7 figures a year on his personal security. What does he need security for? Why? Is he that controversial, Ben Shapiro? Tucker Carlson now, that's a whole nother deal. I think Ben Shapiro's 7 figures a year of security is ego. Tucker Carlson, he's really pissing off some really serious people.
Well, don't forget, too, Brian, Ben Shapiro has 2 little kids, right? He might be protecting his kids.
Oh, please. Please. What is something that he has ever said or reported that is 1% as serious as what we've seen Tucker do since he's gone to Twitter?
But, Brian, you're dealing with lunatics and degenerates, and to prove my point.
Oh, yeah, I know. Believe me. Yes, I know.
Totally cool with degeneracy. A liberal, totally cool with degeneracy. What a shock.
Mm-hmm.
What a shock.
Well, you know what liberal Harvey said? Toupees are the problem. What a weirdo. All right, Andre. All right, how can we not have a great day? We got this Tucker interview coming up tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Barbara in Baltimore.
Hey, Barbara. Oh, man, this is huge.
What a bombshell, but let me tell you something. Larry Sinclair's name was brought out by Dr. David Manning, James David Manning of the Atlas World Ministry in 2007 when he was running. Dr. Manning was silenced. You don't even hear his name anymore. But the story about Larry Sinclair is something he talked about in 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
And oh yes. This is almost old news. It's amazing to me. And during that time, I remember, because I was campaigning, if you can believe it, John McCain. Oh gosh, but I did campaign for John McCain.
I voted for John McCain and Sarah Palin. Yeah.
Campaigned for him. I went down to Virginia.
Oh my goodness.
School campuses with people and they
Yeah.
somewhere. I got in my car and I went there, and I did see Sarah Palin at Fairfax. She was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
And she's better looking in person than she is on TV, if you can imagine that.
Well, that's what running will do for you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But David Manning broke this story. He even had a little poem. Larry Sinclair and Obama had.
Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. I don't remember that one.
Well, if you didn't know who David Manning was, you would not.
No, that name's familiar. Hey, listen, it's been a long time. It's been a long time.
Yeah, and you could be very, very on point about Andrew Breitbart. I never believed that Andrew Breitbart died of natural causes.
No.
No one could ever find who he had that last drink with. And, just walking, he had a heart attack. I don't believe it, because I saw him in Vegas, and, he was at a speech. In fact, that's the first time that I got to see Mike Pence was in Vegas.
Was that at CPAC?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the CPAC where Breitbart made the big announcement about the Obama tapes.
Yes, it was huge. It was huge.
Everyone was talking about that. And the thing with Obama, it's not what the tapes were, it's what Obama was afraid they were, right? And we never saw those tapes. Never saw those Breitbart tapes.
Never saw them. And the other thing that made me, I believe this from the beginning, because as good looking as Obama is, and being a black man too, handsome, I said there should be some women out there coming out saying they know him, and to write a book or something about knowing him before he got married. There was nothing except for the lady recently, the story about, the homosexuality.
Mm-hmm.
He's been with boys that's his that.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm up against the top of the hour, but I appreciate the call. But I mean, we just got 10 seconds. But this will be devastating to Barack and Michelle and the black community because there's a big problem in the black community with the men being gay, and it's not popular.
Well, I don't think she'll be running for office, that's for sure.
Good. All right, take care. All right, it's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back with your calls after our top of the hour break. Just a huge news day. We'll be back right after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown.
Should I stick with the interview or move on to other things, guys? I got to recap it for people that are just tuning in. Trolling. Trolls are a sign of success, people. Oh, yeah, I'm going to play it again, absolutely.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
Oh. This is hilarious. I'm going to read this story about the Tucker interview. I love the liberals trying to explain it away.
Also on the southbound side before Atlantic Avenue, the right shoulder block, the service streets are crash free. The rest of Broward County is in great shape. All overnight construction has been cleared. This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Right now at Lowe's, buy one, get one 50% off select interior and exterior paint and exterior stains via Lowe's gift card rebate. Lowe's knows home improvements now through September 6th. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details while supplies last. That's traffic.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Visit the poker room at PBKC, open daily for cash games, high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and big money tournaments like the $100,000 guaranteed Monster Multi-Flight this week, September 7th through the 10th. Visit our newly expanded casino table game area with Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker.
Okay, pull this up.
Available 7 days a week. Go to pbkennelclub.com for more info. Here's your True Oldies ABC News update.
Did you guys take a look at the thumbnail for the video and let me know what you guys think? I created that thumbnail. I love the look on Michelle's face talking to Barack in that thumbnail. She's pissed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's pissed, Michelle. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to talk about this when we get back on the air. What Michelle's pissed about is not that it happened, it's that it's public. It's just like the Clintons. Hillary wasn't pissed off about Monica Lewinsky, that he had sex with Monica Lewinsky. Hillary was pissed off that everybody found out that he was having sex with Monica Lewinsky. You see the difference here? These are really weird people. You know? Mm-hmm. Oh. Ugh. I'm starving. Starving. I know Jan's. I'm wide awake. I was talking on my live stream on the way in today. Our stray cat Luna is in heat again, and we didn't get her fixed yet because Kathy had her surgery, and I didn't want to. I couldn't handle Kathy recovering from surgery and the cat at the same time. So I got to wait for Kathy to recover before we can get the cat fixed. And she's going around the house. You know that noise that cats in heat make? All night, the last 2 nights. Oh my gosh. It's hard to sleep with that going on. That's how I felt when my daughter was a baby. And she was just home from the hospital. You know, constantly. I feel bad for her. Okay.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Welcome, everyone. Hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio this year, the Steve Kane Show. If you're just tuning in, Tucker Carlson has dropped another major interview with Larry Sinclair, who claims to have done drugs and had gay sex with Obama. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's spectacular, and it's changing the world. And, well, let's take a call or two, and then we'll continue on with more details. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Jay from Jersey.
Hey, Jay, speak up. Having a hard time hearing you. Your voice is kind of muffled, like you've got something over the phone or something.
I'm in my car. Let me take you off my earpiece.
Okay, that's okay. Oh, yeah, we'll hold on for you, Jay in Jersey. This is going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Loud and clear.
Okay. So you don't believe I'm in my car, right? Here's your horn you want to hear. That good enough for you?
I didn't ask you if you were in your car.
I know, but you're that kind of jerk.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
I'm going to work.
Going to work. Okay, go ahead.
You took me off this morning.
Why?
Because you're disgusting topic. It's disgusting, and it's a lie.
Oh, so you think that Barack Obama is disgusting for what he did with Larry Sinclair?
No, I think you're disgusting.
Why? I didn't do it.
Yeah, you're doing it right now.
What am I doing that's disgusting?
I hope Barack sues the crap out of Tucker Carlson.
Why?
Disgusting interview.
Why?
Because it's a disgusting interview, which is a lie.
So you think men? Okay, so this is interesting. What's disgusting? Gay men having sex with each other? What's disgusting?
Yeah, I do think that's disgusting.
Oh,
It's disgusting.
it's not my cup of tea.
Well, it's not my cup of tea either. That's why I'm saying it's disgusting.
But I'm not the liberal. You're a liberal. Liberals are supposed to like gay sex.
I am a Christian. Okay?
Okay.
Christian. I know what God said.
So why are you not upset with Obama for doing it?
I'm not, because I know he didn't do it. That's why.
But what about?
Just like when you be talking about how you know what Trump does with his penis.
Huh? Look, about 2 weeks ago, handwritten letters in Obama's handwriting came out that he wrote to a girlfriend before Michelle, where he talked about his gay sex fantasies. 2 weeks ago.
Marty, don't nobody believe that.
No, everybody believes it, but you.
You believe, listen to this, you believe Tucker Carlson. You believe everything Tucker Carlson says, right?
I wouldn't say that. I don't always agree with him.
Oh, okay. Well, I agree with him one time when he said that Trump is a disgusting nut. But you okay with that?
No.
Doesn't like Trump.
Okay. Well, that gives him credibility then. If that is true, what you said, that he does not like President Trump, that gives him credibility, Tucker.
How is that?
Well, because even though it's counter to his personal opinions, he's reporting these truths.
There's nothing true about this nut that you got on here today. talking about lunatics and degenerates, the little game back before me. The lunatics and the degenerates are the ones that believe this crap that you're putting out today. I know you go pretty low, but you went really low. This is disgusting. And so is Tucker Carlson for putting out this disgusting lying crap. Yeah, you mean.
So if it's proven to be true, what would that mean to you?
It's proven to be true. Every single thing that's going on right now.
Let me ask you this. Like Michael Jackson, what got Michael Jackson in trouble was not what he was doing. He got found out. They had proof because, remember, one of the boys could describe distinguishing marks on his penis, kind of like in Porky's. Remember the shower scene? So if Larry, remember what, Michael Jackson or Porky's?
I remember what you're talking about.
Okay. Okay. So if Larry Sinclair could identify Obama's penis, would that, if there was a distinguishing mark and he could identify, would that convince you?
Yeah, okay, let me ask you this. If that woman that's suing Barack, and he's in trouble right now in New York for sleeping with the porn star, if she comes up with the same thing about knowing everything about Trump's penis, are you going to believe?
Well, she's given extensive interviews and has never... No. Stormy Daniels, no. Well, see, the reason that I know Stormy Daniels, well, I'm trying to explain to you. The reason I know Stormy Daniels is lying is because President Trump is a germaphobe and he would never have sex with a sex worker.
Is a pervert. He's been married 3 times, cheated on every single wife.
That's not true. True.
True.
He cheated on his first wife. His second wife cheated on him, and he's never cheated on Melania.
Oh, come on. Melania, do you even see Melania? Melania don't even be with him. They don't even stay in the same.
As opposed, yeah, really? So, just like the Obamas, right? You think the Obamas are a happy couple?
Not Michelle. Melania next to Trump. When's the last time you seen?
Oh, about a week ago.
No.
Yeah.
Don't go no place with him.
She don't go no place is a double negative, which means she goes every place with him. All right, thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? 2 negatives make a positive. Yeah. Hey, Dave.
Yeah. Hey, Dave from Virginia.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, Brian. You see, you can't change the Democrats' mind. I mean, they're dead set, and no matter what the truth comes out about Obama and even the drugs part, they don't believe it. And no Christian would be in favor for someone that's for abortion. So
now, see, this is different. Jay from Jersey is a political guy, so this is not new to him. When this interview drops at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitter today, tens of millions of people are going to find out about this that are Democrats for the very first time ever. And like it or not, Tucker Carlson is a guy with credibility. His criticisms in the past of Trump, I believe, give him credibility to people that would not normally even give him credibility. So no, this is not a news story to Jay from Jersey because he follows politics. He's known about this since 07, 08. But to most people in this country, they don't know who Larry Sinclair is and have never heard any of these things.
Yeah. Well, at least they're coming from one of the most credible people there are.
I think he's the second most important person in this on this planet right now. Most important is Donald Trump. Number 2 is Tucker Carlson.
Yep. All right.
All right. Take care. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. When we get back from the break, I'll take more calls, but I'm going to also talk in more detail about why this is important. Because I know a lot of people say, well, who cares? Obama hasn't been president for years. Who cares? Well, I'm going to tell you why when we get back. And we'll take more of your calls at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening to us. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve King.
That's right.
On air now. 888-COCAINE-1. This is the Steve King Show with Brian Craig.
Oh, man. Tucker Carlson's amazing. He should get a freaking Pulitzer Prize. Yeah, I love Porky's. I love that movie. I saw that movie in a drive-in when I was a kid. I was too young to see it. My dad took me to the drive-in. It was a double feature. I can't remember what the other one was. What year was Porky's? 82? It might have been The Wrath of Khan in Porky's. That was the funniest thing ever. 81? Okay. Wrath of Khan was 82, so it couldn't have been Porky's. And Wrath of Khan. That movie's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, the liberals are having meltdowns today. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Yeah. Not Porky's 2 the next day or Porky's 3, the original Porky's. Mm-hmm. And it holds up. Kathy and I watched that movie a few months ago. It holds up still. Yeah, they filmed that movie here in South Florida. Yeah. My wife is having a really rough recovery from this surgery. Yeah, a really rough one. She's home, but it's been a rough recovery. I think they sent her home too early. I think they should have kept her in the hospital over the weekend. She'd be doing much better. Wow. Thanks for the prayers and well wishes.
Six 9 FM and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, and we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve King Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. I want to talk about our resident dentist, Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. He's amazing. You know, Dr. Gupta has been with us on the Steve King Show for many years, and I know he's many of your family dentists as well. You know, Dr. Gupta, his prices are like out of the 80s. He top quality work, dental work. His prices are amazingly affordable. And, you know, whenever you hear dentists advertise, they talk about painless dentistry and all this stuff, which is, you know, and a lot of people think that people avoid dental work because of the physical pain. It doesn't, you know, that's not the biggest pain. The pain is the cost, right? The pain is the cost. And not only does he do painless dentistry, but he also, the cost is not painless either. That's why people like Richie, the bus driver, drive over 100 miles to see him, because his prices are great. He's top tier dentist. You can find Dr. Gupta online at brightondentalcare.com, brightondentalcare.com, or give him a call, 954-922-4633. Uh-oh, got the number wrong. 954. You don't want to do that when you're doing a spot. Uh-oh. Hopefully they weren't listening. 954. Steve's going to kill me. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. One more time since I screwed it up the first time. 954-922-4633. For Brighton Dental Care, I'm a little tired today. My wife and I, our stray cat is in heat. And we haven't gotten her fixed because my wife had surgery on Friday, and I told my wife, I said, I have to wait for you to recover. I can't have you and the cat both recovering from surgery at the same time. It's too much. So at night, all day too, but at night it's the worst. The cat, for the last couple of nights, since she's in heat, has been walking around the house calling all the boy cats in the neighborhood with this "row, row" all night for the past 2 nights. So I have not gotten a lot of sleep the last couple nights. However, the little bit of sleep I've gotten has been very restful and perfect because of all my MyPillow products, but the cat has just been keeping us up. So as soon as my wife is through her recovery, I've already got the appointment set up. I'm taking the cat in for her surgery. Because it's awful. Oh my goodness. And when I leave the house in the morning, there's cats in my yard. I mean, through the walls and everything, they can hear her. And they're coming. It's inconvenient, and it keeps you up at night, I'll tell you that. All right, so let me get to this. So this tape, this is in the Daily Mail. Tucker Carlson is planning to air an interview with a convicted con artist who claims he engaged in drug-fueled sex acts with Barack Obama. I like how they get that convicted con artist. They haven't even told us his name yet. You know, when you're dealing with people that are involved in illegal things, typically they got checkered past. But Larry Sinclair, what's different about him, other than the gay stuff, than Hunter, right? What does Larry Sinclair do that Hunter doesn't do? Except he does it in a gay way, right? It's like the same person. In a promo clip on Twitter, the former Fox News host teased the interview with Larry Sinclair, which I've been playing. Larry Sinclair alleges Obama bought and smoked cocaine with him before they had a sexual encounter in 1999. Sinclair first aired his claims during a 2008 election cycle, including a press conference that ended in his arrest on an outstanding larceny warrant. Yeah, you know, this is bringing back all kinds of great memories. When have you ever seen someone arrested? He's lucky. We didn't have the social media at the level we have it now in 2008. But I remember Larry Sinclair, he had the press conference, and they arrested him at the press conference. They were all over it. Larry Sinclair has never offered proof of his allegations. How do you prove you've had sex with anyone unless you've impregnated them and you can do a DNA test? Who can prove any of that? Since in this era of Me Too, since when do we require proof about sexual encounters? Right? All of a sudden, the liberals who have brought us this Me Too nonsense are requiring proof of sex. How did people prove sex with Harvey Weinstein? None of them did. Women should be believed. And I want to add to that, not only should women be believed, gay men should be believed. In the teaser clip for the Tucker Carlson interview, Larry Sinclair is seen claiming that in 1999, he gave Obama $250 to purchase cocaine, which Sinclair snorted and Obama smoked before the two men had a sexual liaison. The clip is describing Larry Sinclair's claims about Obama as credible information that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. A spokesperson for Obama's personal office did not immediately respond to a request for comment. What does that tell you? You know, I've talked about this more than once on the air, I'm going to do it again because it's relevant to this. I had someone make a claim about me like this, okay? A liberal jerk called the show and said that George, you guys remember George George from the Neil Rogers Show? George from the Neil Rogers Show never liked me too much because he was paranoid that I was going to take his job. And I wasn't going to do that, but he was always paranoid of it. And a guy called in and said that George from the Neil Rogers Show knows 5 men that I've had sex with. This was live on the air. And I've heard that George had told this to people before through the rumor mill, but it was the first time I'd been confronted by it. Now, what do you think I did? If you've heard me tell the story before, you know what I did, but what do you think I did? Guy calls in, and I knew about this thing from George Rodriguez. George, by the way, for the Neil Rogers Show, was passed away a couple years ago, unexpectedly. And I feel bad for that, but he was never nice to me. He hated me. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. So guy calls in. He says, George from the Neil Rogers Show says he knows 5 men that you've had sex with, Brian. This was live on the air. Boom, right out there. Right out there. So what did I do? Did I do what Obama's people did? I have no comment. No, I didn't do that. I said, I'll tell you what. Get those 5 men, or just one of those men, if you can only get one of them. But if you can get all 5, bring them in to the studio tomorrow morning, and we'll have them on the show for the whole 3 hours, and they can tell the story of all the gay sex they had with me on the air, all 5 of them. But if you could only find one, that'll do. Well, I never heard from that guy again. And you know what? George stopped telling people that. Now, why was my reaction different than that of Barack Obama's reaction of no comment? Well, I can say with confidence that I did not have sex with 5 men or 1 man. So I had nothing to hide, and I knew it was nonsense. And if they produced 5 people, I knew they'd be lying, and I'd be able to tear them down at some point during the conversation. That's right. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you one other thing. I don't know if I've ever told this. I was filling in for someone hosting a dating show once. Oh, listen to this, Mike. This was crazy. I was filling in for someone. They had a dating show where people would call in looking for dates. Women would call in looking to meet men. And a woman called in looking for, this was before I was married, but a woman called in, and I'd gone out with this girl, and she had no idea it was me. That's right. I know, it's pretty great. That was crazy. And through the whole call, I knew who she was right away as soon as I heard her voice, because the name. Oh, my goodness. I knew her before I worked in radio, and she never put it together. I was like, the whole call, I was like, oh, my gosh, if she, And then I thought for weeks she's going to remember and then call, but it never happened. I don't know what happened to her. But anyway, my comment was bring those guys, we'll have them in studio tomorrow. And I said, you know what? I'll give each one of them their own microphone. And they can confront me about this accusation. And it never happened. And I never heard from the guy again. Okay? Because it wasn't true. And I could confidently say that. Barack Obama's response of no comment lends credibility to the claim. And I'll tell you one last thing, and then we got a break. Straight men do not want people thinking they had gay sex, okay? I know that might be hip on the TikTok, all right? But it's not hip with adult men that are married with children, okay? And if you're straight, married with children, and people are coming out making claims like this, you don't want it out there if it's not true, and you will stop it on a dime. And when you allow things like this to continue, to simmer, to get worse, that also lends credibility to the accusation. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
I'm going to play the clip coming out of the break. I forgot to do it at the last break.
Good morning, everybody. It's going to be another gorgeous day across South Florida. Plenty of sunshine, limited rain chances. Doesn't really look like that's going to happen, and we'll see a high of 90. I'm WP.
Yeah, but it's hard to rest with the cat going around the house in heat.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio
I mean, it was.
Palm Beach Patio Furniture, voted in the best of the best patio
Hopefully, she'll be out of it
stores in
today.
County. Palm Beach Patio Furniture.
Oh, that was hilarious when that guy called in.
Spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm
I was hoping that they would try to pull off a couple of guys trying to tell the story, but they couldn't do it.
And we also have a minor crash now, previous 455 southbound passing Boynton Beach Boulevard. This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Right now at Lowe's, buy one, get one 50% off on select interior and exterior paints and exterior stains via Lowe's gift card rebate. Lowe's knows home improvement, valid through September 6th. More terms and restrictions apply.
Oh my goodness.
See Lowe's.com/rebates for details while supplies.
Yes, please like and share. Yes or no? Do you believe Larry Sinclair? Yes or no? I say yes. Absolutely.
September 7th through the 10th. Visit our newly expanded casino table game area with Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum, available 7 days a week. Go to kennelclub.com for more info.
No, he has nothing to lose, that's for sure. Yeah, sure, everybody's got something to lose. I will agree, I'm lucky to have all my hair. Oh, yes. Someone told me when I was in high school that if you wear a hat all the time, it'll cause you to have a receded hairline when you get older. And I stopped wearing hats because of that. That's why I don't wear hats all the time. I've always, and I think that's true because all the guys I've grown up with, they're like all bald. A lot of them just shave their heads now, and they all wore baseball caps all the time. But that's why I don't wear hats every day now. I wear my MAGA hat around and stuff, but I don't wear it all the time because I always got that in my mind. I don't want to start losing it now. I got a lot of life ahead. Well, I'm not taking any chances, Dante.
Brian Craig here, telling you about
our 5th annual listener cruise, and you're all invited, except Liberal Al. Liberal Al, you're not invited, but the rest of you are. We leave April 27th on board the Celebrity Beyond, the flagship of celebrity cruises. We're going to the ABC Islands, Curacao, Bonaire, and Aruba. We have shore excursions at every port, and I'll be on them all with you. We'll have dinner together every night, private cocktail parties, we'll go to Broadway shows together, and dance till the clubs close every night. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and book your reservation. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
You're just a guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah, pulled up in a bar outside, and there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Even though you had sex with him twice, you did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice, you had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
The obvious question, what was Obama like on crack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like what is the...
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't Islam.
The guy's running for president, and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
Oh boy, that's it. Oh my goodness. The Larry Sinclair interview. And here's more details on it. So let me get back to this story on it. By the way, our number 1 AAA Cocaine 1. If you're on hold, stand by. Now, Larry Sinclair's been around since 07, 08. He said he did drugs and had gay sex with Obama. But, you know, this story, see, this is important for a number of reasons, okay? I believe that Tucker Carlson is the second most important person in America. Number 1, of course, is President Trump. And the number 2 most important person is Tucker Carlson, because both Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson are saving our country and saving our civilization. And that is not an extreme statement. And what I mean by that with Tucker is changing the media landscape. Let me explain this to you. Okay, and the significance of these interviews. You know, I was talking at 6. These interviews that Tucker Carlson has been doing, not one of them has been new news to those of us that follow the news and are conservative and get our information from good, credible, conservative news sources. But they are new to people that don't get the news where we get the news. Most people in this country and in this world get their news and information from the mainstream, not from Breitbart and places like that, not from the Gateway Pundit or WorldNet Daily or Newsmax. They get it from the mainstream. So all these things are new and shocking. And what Tucker has done, he's had a collection of interviews done in a way that are taboo to the mainstream media. These topics are taboo. Every one of these interviews, the interview he did with President Trump, viewed over 250 million people viewed that interview, the most viewed interview in the history of interviews. Okay? And he asked President Trump questions in a way that no one has ever asked him before. All taboo. Larry Sinclair, while he's been around in our world since 07, and if you're conservative, you've known that name like that since 2007. No one had, oh, Larry Sinclair, that's a familiar name. Who's that? You knew, oh, that's the guy that had gay sex with Obama. Yes. But to most people who will see this interview starting tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, over the next few days on Twitter, it's completely new. All these interviews that he's done have been taboo interviews for the mainstream press. The liberals, the success of liberal activism is done in a very interesting way. Okay? What liberals do when they have a goal is they take an issue, whatever it is, and they push it to the most far extreme that they can possibly push it. For example, right now we're getting all this gender stuff, and you see all this weird stuff going on, like that Canadian teacher with the fake breast, or, men on girls' teams, right? So what happens, what the liberals do, is they push things to such an extreme that they're unacceptable, and then when they're forced to pull back, they're still many steps ahead in the world of craziness. But it doesn't seem so crazy because we got a school teacher with the fake huge breast and, that guy in Canada, or the guys on the swim team. You understand? The girls' swim team. You understand what I mean? If you go so far to the extreme, when you're forced to pull it back, you're still on the extreme, just not as extreme. And society will accept it because, thankfully we don't have that guy with the huge fake breast anymore in the classroom. You understand? Exactly. Well, Tucker is doing a similar thing with the media. The media in this country not only has lost the trust of the American people, most people believe that the media is not trustworthy at all. You can't believe anything. And people that are conservative believe, and I agree with this, that the media is an arm of the CIA, deep state, and all of that to further their agenda. So what Tucker is doing on Twitter is a tactic that the left do. He is pushing things to the extreme in such an amazing way that eventually the rest of the media, if they want to survive as media organizations, are going to have to start reporting real news. Now, they're never going to report things this extreme, but they'll start reporting the real news. They'll have to, or they'll be irrelevant beyond imagination, because Tucker is taking these taboo topics, subjects, and questions during these interviews, and hundreds of millions of people are seeing them that have never heard any of these things before. He's changing the game of media. This is one of the reasons the ADL are going after Elon Musk right now, is because of what Tucker Carlson is doing. So let me get back to this story in the Daily Mail. So a spokesman for Obama's personal office did not respond to requests for comment on the Larry Sinclair gay sex cocaine interview. Then they tell us a lot about Larry Sinclair. Larry Sinclair has a lengthy criminal history, including convictions on forgery, fraud, and larceny. He has served prison time in Arizona, Florida, and Colorado. In 2008, when Larry Sinclair first aired his claims, Politico reported on the saga, noting that the story has generally been ignored by mainstream media because he's been unable to substantiate his allegations. How many people can substantiate allegations of sex or illegal drug use with someone unless you've impregnated them and you can have a DNA test? It's nobody has ever been asked to do such a thing until now. In June 2008, Sinclair rented a room at the National Press Club in D.C. and spoke for an hour, going into great detail about two sexual liaisons he claimed to have had with Obama in 1999. One in the back of a limo and another in the hotel room in Illinois. I remember that. The limo story was the one that was in the National Enquirer. Larry Sinclair claimed that a limo driver introduced him to Obama after Sinclair asked for help connecting with someone to party, and that Obama, then an Illinois state senator, readily introduced himself with his real name and job title. The press conference ended in the arrest of Larry Sinclair on an open warrant from Delaware. Oh. Delaware. Who runs Delaware? Joe Biden. And he was a senator then. Was he his running mate yet? Do you think Biden had something to do with that Delaware warrant being served? I bet you he did. Maybe that's how he became Veep. I don't know. Let's see here. After liberal bloggers who supported Obama tipped off the D.C. police to his scheduled appearance. Think about that. So liberals were so terrified of Larry Sinclair's press conference, they had him arrested at the press conference. And I'm sure they tried to have him arrested before the press conference. The press conference, then it goes on. For more than a decade, Larry Sinclair's claims were taken seriously only by the furthest fringe of conspiracy theorists and had largely been receded from public discourse. Last week, Tucker Carlson revived the long-defunct controversy in a podcast interview. That was on the Adam Carolla show. You know what's missing from this story? And it goes on. I mean, there's some more which I may share after the next break. There's nothing in this story about the story from 2 weeks ago where Obama's old girlfriend produced handwritten letters in Obama's handwriting where he was talking about his fantasies of gay sex. Remember that? That's missing from this story. You don't think that story gives credibility to Larry Sinclair? Is that not evidence that that's how he rolls? In fact, if you go through all of the stories in the mainstream press that are embarrassed into trying to cover for Obama by discounting and discrediting Larry Sinclair, they don't mention those letters in any of those stories. And they know that in this TikTok generation, the attention span of the average American is so short now that people have probably forgotten about that gay fantasy letters from 2 weeks ago. But I haven't. Oh my goodness, I'm looking at the clock. It's time for our last break of the second hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian, back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Hey, are you already dreaming about your next vacation getaway? Well, Margaritaville at Sea Summer Blowout Sale is back, but only for a very limited time. Check out a 3-day, 2-night cruise in the Bahamas starting at only $99 for 2 guests. An incredible deal you won't see again this season. Enjoy delicious island-inspired cuisine, amazing live entertainment, spectacular ocean breezes, and so much more. Don't miss your last chance to break away to the Bahamas with cruises for 2 starting at $99. Book today at margaritavilleatsea.com.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are originally from Connecticut, where our values and work ethic is second to none. We install all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingle, clay and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. We work with homeowners, HOAs, commercial properties, and churches. We are state of Florida licensed roofing and general contractors. At Laporta Contracting, family is what we are, and roofing and restoration is what we do. We help guide our customers to a successful outcome by constantly informing them every step of the way.
Wearsdale, Florida. Where is that in Florida? I've not heard of that. Wearsdale? Did I pronounce that right? The chat message disappeared real quick. So maybe I didn't read it right.
The number again is 954-604-4602.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
You're just a guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah, pulled up in a bar outside, and there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Even though you had sex with him twice, you did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice, you had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was. He was just
the obvious question: what was Obama like on Unpack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like what is that?
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't as long.
The guy's running for president, and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
Oh, man, yeah. So the Tucker interview with Larry Sinclair, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitter tonight. So back to this story. Oh, man. Last week, Carlson, age 54, speaking on the popular Adam Carolla show, said in 2008 it became really clear that Barack Obama had been having sex with men and smoking crack. A guy came forward, Larry Sinclair, and said, I'll sign an affidavit, and he did. And I'll do a lie detector, and he did. Sinclair failed an 2008 lie detector test and then said that David Axelrod, who's from Chicago and was senior advisor to Obama, he said David Axelrod bribed the examiners to monkey around with the results of his lie detector test, and that's why he failed it. Sinclair's history of sworn statements is dubious. In 2004, he signed an affidavit claiming to be terminally ill, to have his arrest warrant dismissed, but here he is years later alive. Well, so what? He lived. What is that? So people, you know, I was talking about my wife's surgery. When my wife was first diagnosed with her illness, when we first got married 27 years ago, doctor told her she had 2 to 3 years to live. And here we are 27 years later, she's alive. Doctors give terminal diagnoses all the time. It doesn't mean they're right. Then they go into try to discredit Tucker. Listen to this. No, again, not mentioning the dead chef at the Obama estate. No reference to the letters in Obama's own handwriting to his girlfriend with his gay sex fantasies. None of that. So they try to discredit Larry Sinclair. Now Carlson. Tucker Carlson was fired by Fox News in April and has since been producing his own show on X, the website formerly known as Twitter. The pundit has claimed he was fired as a condition of a Fox News lawsuit. Other reports have claimed Tucker Carlson was fired over communications uncovered during that lawsuit. Private messages sent by Tucker with highly offensive and crude remarks were a catalyst in Fox's decisions to cut him loose, according to the New York Times. One redacted message included a slur against a senior Fox executive, the Wall Street Journal and Washington Post both reported. Each of the reports relied on sources that were not named. No, we know why Tucker was fired. Tucker Carlson he wasn't fired from Fox News. He still works for Fox News. He was taken off the air. He was taken off they're still paying him, according to Megyn Kelly. I know he keeps saying he was fired. That's more of a legal position because he's in a legal battle and negotiation with Fox right now. They took Tucker off the air because of that January 6th coverage. You know, when Kevin McCarthy gave Tucker all those tapes from January 6th, he had them for a while, and then he announced there was going to be a whole week. And we were talking about this at the time. When you have a story like that, you see James O'Keefe does this very effectively with all of his coverage. When you have a week-long investigative report like Tucker, you pace it out through the week, okay? So what you do is on the first night, you have something big, but not your biggest thing. You have something big, not your biggest thing, but something big that'll get like, whoa, I didn't know that. And then the next few days, you have stories that are like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And then you have the big kahuna at the end. And I figured either on Thursday or Friday, Tucker was going to build up to his biggest story. And the reason I said Thursday or Friday is because I thought he might want to leave Friday open to an analysis of the week's events for the Friday news cycle. But we only had one night of January 6th coverage from Tucker. And it was huge. And it was footage that America had not seen. And it was the Capitol Police walking around inside the Senate building with the shaman, trying to find an unlocked door to walk him into the Senate chamber, which they eventually found an unlocked door, the Capitol Police. They walked him in right up to the pool photographer. He was released from prison early because of that. That was just one night of reporting. And I don't think Fox and the Uniparty thought that Tucker was going to find anything in that tape that would be shocking and revealing like that video. And they had one night, and that's when they decided, we got to get this guy off the air. And their plan was, because of the non-compete, what their plan was to take him off the air and not fire him. Eventually, they'll either keep paying him for the rest of the contract or eventually sever ties, but then the non-compete would kick in, and the non-compete would keep him off the air and away from an audience, his audience or any audience, until after the election. Well, then Tucker has this loophole we found out about where he is allowed to do things so long as he's not paid to do them. So that's why he's doing these interviews and getting interviewed. So it's amazing what's going on. What he's doing, like with Larry Sinclair tonight and these other great interviews like the one with President Trump, he's being paid by Fox News to do this. And Fox News fired a bunch of his staff. He's hired some of them. That's why we got these great trailers like I just shared with you. And they're working for him, and he's paying them with Fox News Channel money because they're still paying Tucker Carlson. This is amazing what's going on here. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is our number. It's toll-free. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, how you doing?
Doing all right. What's your name?
My name is Terry.
Hey, Terry. What's up?
What's going on? I don't understand. I'm questioning. Okay, Obama, okay, he did what he did, okay? He had that type of lifestyle, okay? But why? He's not in office anymore. So why all this?
Okay. Okay, there's a couple reasons why. First off, it has been reported by many top people like Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, and others at that level that Barack Obama is in fact running the country right now, not Joe Biden, which is not hard to believe when you see how checked out Joe Biden is. That's number one, okay? And that's important. That means he's still in office. This is Obama's third term. That's one reason.
Right.
Oh, so you don't accept that.
Is that, what I'm saying is that now when
There's other reasons.
you get offended when they talk about Trump. And
Not at all.
Obama, he's been out of office.
No, I just told you he's running the country right now. This is his third term. Second, there's a second reason. Because Joe Biden is so checked out, there's been a lot of talk about Michelle Obama running as the Democrat nominee. So that puts this in relevant play as well.
Problem against Michelle being in office.
Oh yes. Oh yes, absolutely.
I think she's a good person.
Tell me something good about her that would make her a great president.
Well, she has Obama.
But wait a minute, but Obama, we're finding out doing crack and having gay sex in limousines and hotel rooms with guys with no teeth. But you said Michelle, I said, tell me something good about Michelle to make her a good president, and you said, well, she's got Barack, but Barack's got the gay sex thing going on with the crack. So how's that good?
He's not going to be running. He's not going to be.
But that is who you cited as you said she's got Barack. So do you think somebody who behaves like Barack should be advising a president?
Barack was a good president. He was. I'm not.
Really? Tell me something good he did as president.
Well, he did a lot of good things.
Well, tell me about one of them.
Well, it's been so long.
Well, he did a lot of things. No, hold on. We got 2.5 minutes till the top of the hour. I'm going to give you a moment to think. You said Barack Obama did many things that were great. Give me one.
The issue is not Obama and what...
Well, wait a minute. You said that Obama did a lot of great things. You can't think of any of them? I can tell you great things Trump's done. Trump overturned Roe v. Wade and ended affirmative action in college admissions. Trump ended sex trafficking worldwide when he shut down Backpage, okay, and saved women from sexual assault, abuse, and sex slavery.
It was all just a show.
Well, at least I can think of examples of what my guy has done that's good. You still can't think of any.
Trump he's going to bring on the apocalypse. He's going to destroy the earth, though. And you keep talking about Trump.
No. We're talking about Barack, not Trump. So what are your thoughts? If you found out that it's true that Obama was doing crack and was having gay sex, what are your thoughts on that? Do you approve of that?
I don't approve of it, but the man's not in office.
But he is. He's running the country, and his wife may be running for president.
My point is, look what Trump. Look what Trump doing.
What's he?
The point is that you can't hate one and despise the other, because the thing is, okay, he's wrong for doing what he was doing.
You can't hate one and despise the other. I love Trump. And I don't hate Trump. I don't hate Barack.
You love Trump.
I do love Trump.
Both of them doing evil crap. Both of them did evil.
You know, this is the third liberal that's called in since today, the third liberal, and all of the liberals that have called in today want to talk about Trump, not Barack Obama, in this sex interview. Why are you guys wanting to talk about, one of the biggest complaints we get from liberals is that we talk about Trump too much. Today we're talking about Barack Obama, and you're trying to get us to talk about Trump.
You always talk about Trump.
Yeah, but I'm trying to talk about something else today, and you're trying to get me to talk about Trump.
See, you getting angry when I go to talking about Trump.
I'm not angry.
You get real angry when I.
I'm not angry.
Trump is one of the four horsemen.
See, one of the four horsemen. Okay, yeah, all right. Okay. All right, it's time for our top of the hour break. If you're on hold, stand by. It's a Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vacate.
I love these liberal callers.
Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. It's going to be another gorgeous day across South Florida. Plenty of sunshine, limited rain chances. Doesn't really look like that's going to happen, and we'll see a high of 90. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw. Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Vehicle crash out to the left shoulder now along I-95 and northbound just before 6th Avenue South. We're still dealing with a multi-vehicle crash on Forest Hill Boulevard of Lyons Road. Also I-95 heading south on Freedom Auto, where various vehicles are blocking the right lane. We're seeing some minor hiccups there. Also the usual delays on 95 heading northbound from the Real Legion to Boca. This morning I would take the Turnpike instead. This report is sponsored by Blindsure.com. If you want to save on new blinds, Blindsure.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters at prices at big box retailers. Order 10 free samples of any product from
I'm answering emails and DMs.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Visit the poker room at PBKC, open daily for cash games, high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and big money tournaments.
And guys, don't forget, I'm going to do a live stream after I get off the air from the car. So make sure you got the notification bell clicked, you're subscribed, and everything else. You'll get the notification when I go live. I might have to do something right after the show, but when I get to the car, I'll fire up a live stream. So keep an eye out.
ABC News Now, I'm Tom Rivers. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has turned up in Kyiv, a previously unannounced visit. It's his fourth trip to Ukraine since Russia invaded. Former Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio sentenced Friday for his role in the violent attempt to keep Trump in power.
Tarrio sentenced to more than 2 decades in prison, 22 years, the longest imposed thus far.
Yeah, every liberal that's called in today, they don't want to talk about it. They're in denial. Cracking my knees. Ugh.
Hemisphere just went through its hottest summer ever. The month of August goes into the books as the second hottest month ever. This is ABC News.
Whether you own a local business,
Oh, the second hottest month ever.
you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America NA.
It's Scott Shannon here with a question. How would you
Yeah, the liberals, they always, oh, you guys talk about Trump too much. Trump. All you guys talk about. One day we're not talking about Trump, and all the liberals are calling in trying to get us to talk about Trump. It's hilarious. I love it. I love it. Exactly. Did I read this morning that Bill Maher was making fun of, hold on. 1 second here. I got to pull this up. Getting ready to come back. I'm not ready. Yeah, Bill Maher was making fun of Jimmy Buffett's music, I read this morning. Who doesn't like Jimmy Buffett's music? I've never heard of that, Bill. All right. Callers on hold, stand by. Very busy phones this morning. I'm Brian Craig, Steve Kane joining us. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Tucker Carlson did it again, Steve. Oh, my goodness.
When did the story break?
Late yesterday night. I woke up to hear it. I didn't know about it till I woke up this morning. And it was one of those stop the presses. You know, can I play the trailer for the interview? Okay, let me do this. Callers on hold, stand by. Tucker Carlson at 6 p.m. Eastern Time today, his full interview with Larry Sinclair will air on Twitter. Larry Sinclair is the man who says that he had gay sex and did crack cocaine with Barack Obama, and Tucker released a trailer, like a highlight of the interview to tease it. And this is that. Okay, listen.
You're just a guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah, pulled up in a bar outside, and there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Even though you had sex with him twice, you did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice. You had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
Let me just ask the obvious question. What was Obama like on crack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like what is that?
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet it wasn't as long.
The guy's running for president, and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
Wow, that's it. I mean, that's something. And I'll tell you something, Steve. Call us on hold, stand by. I'll tell you something, Steve, about Larry Sinclair that gives him credibility. He has been telling this story since 2007. That is 16 years. And I remember when he first came forward, his story has been exactly the same with no changes, additions, or anything else since then, which is something that liars are incapable of doing, right? Liars, after this many years, liars always get tripped up because they forget their lies.
Let me be totally frank with you. In normal times, there certainly is a fun, that's what I would call a National Enquirer type story. You know me, I'm not opposed to the Enquirer. I kind of like the Enquirer. It's a fun little gossip.
He's going to tell us it's not relevant today.
We have used it as a source many times in calmer days, but with what's going on now, it's I think my only reaction is tell me why I.
Well, I'm not a salesman who's going to tell you why you should care about something, Steve. But I'm going to tell are you serious, or are you being devil's advocate first? If you have something more interesting that people want to talk about, I'm open. But I'll tell you why this is important for a number of reasons, okay? Which I've been doing all morning, okay? And once you see this, what Tucker Carlson has done, this is how I've been describing his interviews that he's done several interviews. What he has done in all of his interviews, and Andrew Tate, Trump, this one, and the others, what Tucker Carlson has been doing are a series of what I would describe as taboo interviews for the mainstream press. Now, he's interviewed some people that have been interviewed in the mainstream press, but he asks them questions that the mainstream would never ask. Trump, Andrew Tate, he interviewed the Capitol Police Chief from January 6th, and now this. These are taboo interviews that the mainstream media will not touch. And what he's doing is a great many things that are relevant. See, Steve's like the liberals. You want us to talk about Trump and not this, right? What he's doing, Steve, is he's discrediting the media. This story, to you and me, and to many people in the conservative movement, is old news, and we've known this for 16 years. However, when you see the number of people that watch Tucker's interviews, 100 million for each, over 250 million on the Trump interview, tens of millions of people in this country are going to hear this story on Tucker Carlson this evening at 6 p.m. Eastern for the very first time. And what the discussion is going to tomorrow around the country through social media and others, what's going to happen is, how did we not know about this? That's what the discussion is going to be. And the reason we didn't know about it is because the media are always covering for the liberals. What Tucker Carlson is doing, and it's the perfect time to do it because we're in the most important election of any of our lifetimes, he's exposing the media. He's breaking the media, and he's bringing down the mainstream media, and they're on the verge of collapse because of what Tucker's doing, and that's why it's important. There's other reasons too, but that's the main reason. That's one of the main reasons right there. Yeah, he's destroying the credibility of the media in each and every one of these interviews, and so many tens of millions are going to hear this for the first time. That interview he did a few weeks, was it 2 or 3 interviews ago, was with the chief of police from the Capitol Police the day of January 6th. He was in studio with Tucker, and he was talking about how he couldn't get backup, that Pelosi and the congressional leadership refused him backup after the breach began, and all. Yeah, well, that was covered up. And, so each one, I call them taboo interviews, each and every one of them. Now, this one here is huge, and it's backed up by the credibility of the bizarre circumstances of the chef's death, the gay sex fantasy letters in Obama's handwriting that came out 2 weeks ago. And I believe that this story is the story that got Andrew Breitbart murdered, because he was going to break this story. So, but we've got only one opening on our board. That's probably the most common thing I ever say on this show. There's only one opening on the board. I don't know why. Maybe I just don't know. Yeah, I just should hit a button. I don't know why I don't say when there's 2 openings. Well, rarely are there 2 openings, I guess. But there's only one opening on the board at 1-888 go Kane 1. And I also know this, Steve. We've gotten several liberals have called in today since the top of the show at 6. Every one of them has been unhinged and tried to talk about anything other than this, which is another reason. I had other things, and I was planning on moving on to some other things. I don't even want to do. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. But the phones have been lit for over 2 hours, and the liberals. Oh, every line on the board is now lit. And the liberals have been so. One guy, Steve, the first guy that called up today said, you give credibility to Tucker Carlson with he's bald, he wears a toupee. Why aren't you talking about that? So I said, toupees are the issue here? Not the crack and the gay sex? You want us to talk about toupee credibility? It was very bizarre. I don't think so. If he does, it's a really good one. Now, I've never noticed it, and, it's much. If he's got one, it's much better than that one Jerry Witchner used to have. Remember that one? Look like the lint that you pull out of the dryer. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break of the hour. There is now one opening on the board again. So we'll take our break. We'll come back and we'll go to the phone. You want to go to the phones after the break, Steve? All right. Our number is 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. I just want to say thank you for Dr. Appleton because I'm from Orlando. It took 3 hours to go down there. It took my 90-year-old mom. My mom walked straighter than she ever walked in her life. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being such a willing vessel to talk about Dr. Appleton.
That's amazing. So you heard me in Orlando talking about Dr. Appleton and drove to South Florida with your mother to see him.
Yes, my mom is awesome now. Awesome. No more arthritis, no more pills. None of that. She's going back to New York. She sits on a train for 24 hours. And I'm telling you, no pain. She gets off that train, and my sister says she walks like a young woman.
That's amazing.
Jerry Wichner was an old radio guy. He was like the #1 DJ in Miami in the 60s. And he did overnights at the station I started at with Steve. And I was really young at the time, and that's who Jerry Wichner is, because someone had asked. He had the worst toupee you've ever seen in your life, and it looked like what I just said to Steve. I always described it this way. It looks like when you pull the lint out of the clothes dryer when it should have been taken out a long time ago. And he had a pistol, and he always had his pistol sitting on the control board because he was on the air. He was some personality. He was on the air once. And the station, he was always an overnight guy. While he was on the air, some guys broke into the radio station to rob the radio station while he was on the air. So he always had this gun. And if you ever said anything about his toupee, he would flip out. Well, I didn't know he had a toupee. And I came in the studio and his hair was all messed up. And I made a comment that his hair was, out of whack. I thought he was going to shoot me. He was so pissed. So pissed. I was like a kid then. I don't know.
Hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM. The world.
All right, every line on the board is lit. By the way, just real quick, Steve, wasn't Jerry Wichner the guy that you had a AIDS patient in studio and interviewed them, and then Jerry Wichner made the radio station fumigate in the whole building? Remember that?
He wouldn't come in and do the show until they did it.
Yeah, he wouldn't go on the air until because there was a guy with AIDS. That was a long time ago, guys. It wasn't like today.
Which you would call enlightened.
No. That's a true story. And the radio station did it. They did it. That was how scary AIDS used to be. Real quick, I was listening to the commercial for Dr. Philip Appleton about a nice lady from Orlando with her mother. They came. That story, I didn't have time. I had to cut some of it out because you only have so much time in a recorded commercial. That was an actual call that came in live on the air, but I had to edit it down for the commercial length. She brought her mother. Her mother suffered from pain. She lives in New York, and she could not find any help for her pain in New York. She had her mother travel by train from New York to Orlando and then drive 3 hours each way to Dr. Appleton's and back 4 times. And now she's all better now. Isn't that amazing? That's how good Dr. Appleton is, guys. I know I ran into one of our listeners in the parking lot at Dr. Appleton's office, and he had just gotten out of his treatment. He was telling me how much better he was feeling. He had some pinched nerve or something. I can't remember. And he said, I heard you and these guys talking about all this, how it helps with the pain. He's like, I couldn't believe it, Brian, until I experienced it. And now, look, call Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain, guys. 954-973-0710. And remember, with the laser away pain treatment, there are no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime, and it's 100% painless. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710, and online, AppletonCairo.com. All right, there's one opening on the board. Let's try to take them in the order in which they were received. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Patty. How are you today?
All right, Patty.
Eddie.
Hey, Steve. Hey, so, Steve, here we go. First of all, that Larry Sinclair thing has been around for years. It didn't break on National Enquirer, all right? But this isn't the main reason why I'm calling, all right?
Okay. Hold on. Since I have you here, and I appreciate your call, can you explain to me why that story today has any relevance? Why should
I'm going to do that right now because...
Thank you so much.
All right. I'm going to tell you that right now because of the last guy that called. All right. It broke back in like 2007, 2008. It didn't break on the National Enquirer. The guy had a major press conference. He was accompanied by an attorney. They did have a very, very detailed timeline. Okay. Now all of a sudden we've got, back in 2008, Joe Biden had more debt than he had wealth. Okay, then all of a sudden he becomes Obama's vice president. Well, let's go back just a little bit more. After that interview...
Please, just stop. Just take a breath here. I appreciate your calling and I appreciate your help. But I'm prepared to admit that it may even be true. My question is, why assume it's true? Why, at this point, with everything that's going on now that I am interested in, I go from room to room with all my televisions on, so I don't miss any of the news that's breaking every day. There's a news.
This won't be on TV, Steve.
I'm asking. Well, okay.
So, all right. So Steve, give me a second. Just give me a second.
Let me finish my sentence. Let me finish my sentence. All I'm asking you to show me is why in this day and age, with everything going on, war breaking out around the world and all this, with the precarious state of the world, why I should care about Larry Summers and whether it's
Sinclair,
whatever his name is. Why do I care?
Okay, I'm gonna finish the thread for you, and I'm gonna pull it together for you. Just give me a minute.
I sure will.
So all of a sudden, after that interview, all of a sudden, that man was pulled into Delaware and arrested by Beau Biden, okay? Then, all of a sudden, in 2008, Joe Biden had more debt than he had wealth. Then, all of a sudden, he becomes Obama's vice president. Obama is the reason why Joe Biden had the opportunity to commit all these crimes, all the bribery.
Steve, let me hold on, caller. Let me help. And there's another thing too. Let me help her and explain this to you, Steve. What she just said is absolutely amazing. I shared some of this in the last segment before you joined us, before the top of the hour. Larry Sinclair in 07 or 08 had a press conference in Washington, D.C. at the Press Club. At the end of the press conference, this was in D.C., he was arrested on a Delaware warrant. That warrant came from Joe Biden's son, Beau. Beau Biden had Larry Sinclair arrested at the press conference, and then all of a sudden his daddy became vice president and now president. This whole Larry Sinclair thing led to Biden being president today. There's a lot of tie-ins. Biden has been using this as blackmail against Obama. Now we know. Now we have indications as to why. See, a the conventional thinking has been, why did Obama pick Joe Biden to be his vice president? And conventional thinking has been, well, the union vote, whatever. Now we know Biden has been blackmailing the Obamas for years over this Larry Sinclair gay sex stuff.
And the thing is, Steve, is now, he becomes vice president, which then he was given the key to go to China, Ukraine, all these places. We've got Joe Biden caught dead to rights with all kinds of bribes and everything else. And those bribes have now turned into him being installed in our White House.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It all goes back to Larry Sinclair. Biden blackmailed his way into the presidency over Larry Sinclair. That's another reason it matters, of the many. But you're not going to see this on TV, Steve. They're not going to air this.
And that's the thing. And this is why Tucker is doing an amazing justice to this country by calling out the mean.
And what's going to happen is this Delaware connection to Larry Sinclair's arrest at that press conference is going to start making its way into the Biden scandals. Out of all 50 states, he was arrested on a warrant from Delaware. Come on.
Trouble the man was in.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was very open and honest in that interview. He came right out and he made all his dirty laundry out. And they asked him why he was doing it. He said, look, I never said a word, but when I saw that man on TV denying that he ever...
That's right.
...or whatever, he said, I felt that it was my duty as...
Now, listen, we're up against I'm sorry, caller. I know you called regular. I've just forgotten your name offhand. What's your name again? Patty. Patty, this is the best call of the day. You're the best caller we've had all day. You're so articulate. You made a great case, and you went through boom, 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 boom. You're like a radio talk show host. You're very good.
Well, it's just, Steve, this is important stuff.
Yes.
We have to look to the history to go forward.
That's right. Well, it's not. This isn't history. This is current. This is part of the Biden crime family. They take bribes, they blackmail people, and all of that. Hey, take care. Thanks for the call. And for those that try to discredit Larry Sinclair, other than the gay aspect, he lives the life of Hunter. It's a very similar lifestyle, with just it's gay instead of a straight one. Oh, look at the time. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
A service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Visit the poker room at PBKC, open daily for cash games, high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and big money tournaments like the $100,000 guaranteed Monster Multi-Flight this week, September 7th through the 10th. Visit our newly expanded...
See, Bo, I was hoping a caller would pick up. Bo was the Attorney General of Delaware when that Delaware arrest warrant was issued for Larry Sinclair. Oh, what a great day.
and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Tom Laporta will give you a free
I know.
evaluation. Laporta Contracting was voted one of the best general contractor and best roofers in South Florida. He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and will never sell you a roof you don't need. If you have an insurance claim, call your insurance company immediately. Then call Tom Laporta. New laws are in effect that allow Tom to negotiate directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need to employ a public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing.
This is a great day.
Commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
The man, thanks so much. Appreciate that. The man, the man. Awesome. The man. I don't know if Tucker will or not. What a great show today. There are currently 2 openings on the board, so you guys can hear me say something other than 1. There are 2 openings on the board.
Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only 2 advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. Any lab test now in Boca is in the Santa Fe Plaza. That's where the Western Beach is. On Meadow Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any lab test now in Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Bramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call any lab test now in Boca.
Oh, yeah. Great day.
Any lab test now in Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Go. Now there's 1 opening on the board. Oh, now every line is lit. Every line is lit. Every line on the board is lit. Should I play the trailer again? Let me play the trailer again. Yes. Okay.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, every line on the board is lit, Steve. Steve, let me just explain this last thing, and then before we go to the phones, okay? Okay. So Larry Sinclair made these. Let me spell this out. I know we've talked about this, but let me highlight this in a little more detail. Something we've explained before this morning. So Larry Sinclair has a press conference and announces that he had the gay sex and everything. At that press conference, he gets arrested by the D.C. police for an out-of-state larceny warrant from Delaware. The Attorney General of Delaware was Beau Biden. So Beau Biden has Larry Sinclair arrested and extradited right after this press conference. And that's when Joe Biden made all his deals with Obama. We'll keep him out of the news. We'll keep him quiet. He won't talk about your gay sex and crack, but this is what I want. And now look, he's president of the United States, Joe Biden, and done everything that he's done. And the vast amounts of wealth that he's gotten was in those Obama years. See, Obama could never stop Biden from doing his dirty business because he had Larry Sinclair over his head. And he probably still does today, now that Tucker's out. So this is huge stuff, and it's all about Biden, Steve. Huge stuff. Do you want to go to the phones? What do you want to do? Okay. Every line on the board is lit. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian. Good morning.
Richie the bus driver.
Richie, how are you doing? I'm good. How you feeling, okay? I'm doing good. Oh, all right, here's the deal, okay? I'm going to help Brian a little bit. Billy Bush, okay? Billy Bush, the story that was going to take President Trump down when he was running for president. Yet, they kept this other thing quiet. NBC kept this other thing quiet with Larry Sinclair. The Hunter Biden tape, okay? Quiet, kept quiet, so you could see Biden get in office. Bottom line is, we haven't been picking presidents for the people. We've been getting
correct
elections from
the media. Yes.
Media picks and chooses what they want to tell the people.
Well, that's been going on for some time now, Richard. That's not news.
Exactly. That's why Obama got in.
See, Steve's not connecting the dots of the relevancy of this story for today, and I think it's huge.
I'm going to give you an example, and that black caller called two calls before. I don't know if you heard him, Steve. He was talking about, what are you talking about? Why don't we talk about why don't we talk about Donald Trump instead of Obama? Obama's not in office. We are living in the Obama time. Prior to Obama getting into the White House, this country was not systemically racist. They didn't have the blacks and the whites at each other's throats. You notice how it all changed when he got in office? You notice how when he went over to Europe and he apologized for the United States because the United States was a racist country? Mm-hmm. All this crap came from this man, this whatever the hell he is, and it's going on.
And Richie, this aspect that Beau Biden had Larry Sinclair arrested at that press conference way back in the day that's new to almost everybody, even our MAGA people.
Yeah, well, actually it is. I didn't know that. Well, when they said, the state, I said, uh-oh.
Yep.
But the fact of the matter is, this is incest within Washington, D.C. You see it right now, what they're doing to President Trump. And you see what they're carrying on. For years, they were saying Trump was the guy putting the Justice Department against his enemies. They're doing it. This is so disgusting what's happened to this country. And for this black man, I got to say something here. The black man that called and said Obama was a great president. Do you know Washington, D.C., my friend? I hope you're listening. Washington, D.C.'s got the worst school system in the world, and it got a high crime, and it's 95% black. And Obama, when he got in there, took all of those kids that were in his private school that he sent his daughter to, and he pulled them out. He wouldn't give them vouchers. That was how good he was to the black community. But you all listen to the black leaders who were basically the same kind of leaders that sold black slavery into slavery back in the day. They used to talk about the slavery, and if it wasn't for the African chiefs, they couldn't have pulled it off. Well, now you got leadership that's telling you vote Democratic. I'm hoping you're waking up because this is disgusting.
No, it's huge. This is huge. This is Tucker Carlson is the second most important man in America. Number one is Donald Trump, and Trump and Tucker are saving not just our country, but our civilization. And Tucker is breaking the media. He's breaking the back of the media in ways that are not even fully understood by many yet.
No, Obama and Biden are the two worst pieces of garbage
Yes.
I've ever seen in the White House. And for you black people out there to love Obama, you better look at him and look twice. Not because he had a sexual relationship with a man and he smoked crack, but what he did to your communities. He gave you nothing. He actually caused more problems in the black community, and it's carrying on today. You're suffering with this Biden. When you go to the supermarket, most of you that are in poor are having trouble, aren't you? Well, that's Obama, and that's Biden. So don't vote for him anymore.
And I think it's, Steve, every line on the board is not only lit right now, every line's been lit all morning. That tells you how much people care and how important I think this story is, because there's new developments. There's new developments and there's more relevancy to it. Barack Obama has been blackmailed for 16 years by Joe Biden. They're not friends. This is amazing.
He had to sign off. Barack Obama had to sign off on everything Biden did because he was the commander.
And he had this over him.
Signing off. Without him signing off on this stuff, it couldn't have happened. Biden couldn't have made the money without him.
Mm-hmm. He was...
But they won't.
Larry Sinclair made Biden rich.
Passionate here. I hope you hear that. And I'm upset because the black community in this country has been manipulated for the last 20 years with this crap.
Yes.
Getting along pretty good 20 years ago, weren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Sun, it's crashed like burned. It's burned down.
Yep. Richie, great call today. Great call from Richie. It's passion. All right, let's go here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. You're on the air.
On Alaska, Texas.
All right. Go ahead, Texas.
Okay, my name is Bob Collins.
What is it?
Bob Collins.
Bob. Okay, Robert, go ahead.
All right, Robert.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yes. All right, Texas.
Anyway, let me tell you. I've been watching this Obama since he announced on Oprah Winfrey. Since the first time he went on Oprah Winfrey. All right? He goes on Oprah Winfrey the first time. He's just won the Senate. And that's a whole other story. He gets his Senate position, goes on Oprah, and Oprah does the moment. And then she asks him in a real whimsy way, are you going to run for president?
Mm-hmm.
And the whole crowd just, lets out a sigh and an ah. And I left that interview watching it, a disabled veteran. I watched it, and I had an old friend that was a colonel. And he had a high position in top secret stuff. He answered questions in ways that were, he could tell you something and not give up the secret by just giving a hypothetical. So I asked him, who is this dude, Barack Obama? And he said, well, I know this much. If he makes it president, this United States of America fundamentally never be the same.
And it has.
And
I agree with that. I agree with
He brought us to socialism in ways that Roosevelt couldn't even do.
And that's what the colonel told me.
Well, the colonel was right. All right, hey, listen, thanks for the call text. Tried to be short, but we're up against a break, and we only have one opening on the board, and we got to get William Youngman on that one open line to do the gold report. If you're on hold, stand by. Every line on our board is lit. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Remember, if you ever miss a portion of a show or an entire show, or maybe you want to hear your call or save your call, go to our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com. Each day at trueoldiesfla.com, the entire Steve Kane Show is loaded up as a podcast and archived there forever. So you can get your calls in perfect stereo sound, studio quality sound, and save them if you want to do that. I know a lot of people do that. All right, it's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane is here. I'm Brian Craig. Do you have William Youngman? No? Still trying? Okay, we're going to... I'm vamping now, Steve. The phones are ringing so much, we're having a hard time getting a line out to get William Youngerman on the line. People are calling as soon as there's an opening, on the board. Okay, all right, we'll be right back with the Gold Report.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve King.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals look today?
Metals are looking good, but they're giving us a great buying opportunity.
Awesome.
They often do, so we're taking a good day to take advantage of a little bit of a dip here. Gold, after trading yesterday between 1925 and 1940, closed at 1925.60, which was down $12.40. Silver down 44 cents at $23.51 the ounce. Platinum closed down $26 at $9.28, and palladium was down up $1 at $11.92. All this much because of the strength of the U.S. dollar continues to be strong. Although oil is roaring ahead up to over $86 a barrel now. So today we got gold at $19.25. That's down 60 cents after trading overnight from $19.22 to $19.29. Silver down 16 cents at $23.35. Platinum down $14 at $9.14. And palladium down $22 at $1,170. So the market's giving us a little buying up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. What are some of the best buys in the different coins today?
Everything is doing very good premium-wise. The silver eagles have moved back up a couple dollars premium-wise, so they're a little bit less of a great value that they were a week ago, but they're still good value. Good on all of the products, very low premiums, so take advantage of it. Not only the lower price on metals, but the lower premiums also.
I'm not the expert you are, but my guess is the silver eagles are going to shoot up again the way things are looking.
Getting ready to move up again back.
Well, they were insane, but you know what? They're going that way again. So if you're a silver eagle person, and there are some people that are so loyal to those silver eagles, and I understand they're beautiful and cool. Now's the time before that happens. William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. If you can, stop in, okay? You can always do business over the phone no matter where you are, but if you can stop in, William Youngerman's shop is a literal museum, okay? I've seen other coin shops, and they look like awful. William Youngerman is a very nice, beautiful museum where so many of these different things we talk about are on display, and they'll just blow your socks off. He's located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. Online at williamyoungerman.com or call him toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. Back after this.
On the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve King Show is on.
All right, only one opening, Steve, where William Youngerman was at. So have you gotten a bigger grip on why this story is so relevant and important today?
Hear you. I don't totally agree, but...
Well, the television news are never going to carry this, not only because it exposes Biden and Obama, but it gives Tucker credibility.
We've
That's right.
Tucker credibility.
That's right. That's right.
Take a phone call.
Well, that's not hard to do because we've got so many. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Marty from Delray.
Hey, Marty. What's up?
Hey, I just add more fuel to the fire, but did anybody ever see the interview with Joan Rivers?
It wasn't an interview. Joan Rivers was walking in someplace, and she said she said Obama's gay and Michelle Obama's a tranny, and then she died. Almost. She died in a botched cosmetic surgery operation. Right? Yeah. The funniest woman who ever lived, Joan Rivers. The funniest. She's the Don Rickles of women.
Yeah, I mean, she sounded like she was pissed off. So, what could there be some truth to that? I don't know, not an interview to that.
Well, listen. Here's the thing. and I've said this a few. I got it. I gave the details of it earlier. I don't have time to do it now, but I believe Andrew Breitbart was killed for this story. Andrew Breitbart went to CPAC and said that he had tapes of Obama with people that was going to change everything, and then boom, he dropped dead on the sidewalk in Brentwood, California. The coroner released a cause of death before an autopsy, which is very suspicious. So, and I think, and we never saw the tapes that Breitbart was talking about. I think this is very likely, probably the story that got Breitbart killed.
Highly, highly speculative.
Of course.
I have no problem with speculating, but
Okay.
I mean, I think we got to separate this stuff that's going on.
That's why I said I think. I said.
Yeah.
It's all speculation, but it'll all be. So.
Well, this whole idea, I love this new thing. Well, Larry Sinclair has no proof that he had sex with. Who has proof that they had sex with anyone that they did not impregnate? How do you prove that?
What I'm saying is, what's his name?
Larry Sinclair.
Sinclair. With Larry Sinclair, I just get the picture that this guy was not the most solid. I mean, the very fact you compare him to Hunter tells me that he's not a very stable guy, and his credibility is highly.
No, not according to Tucker. Tucker says, I believe Larry Sinclair, and I will echo that. I believe Larry Sinclair. Do you believe Larry Sinclair, caller?
Sure.
Okay, there you go. Sure. Steve, for 16 years, he's been, I've never known a liar who for 16 years tells the exact same story without forgetting their lies and gets tripped up. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning, caller. You're on the air. IB Broward. What's up?
Wow, man, what an awesome show. Following Patty and Richie, that was awesome. It makes my summer even better. What triggered me to call in was that really brilliant guy from Jersey. We are trying to paint you guys on the other side a picture of what's going on in our country. You have to be objective as if looking at a picture in a museum. So they summed it up really good in the intricacies of the bigger picture. An example is the balloon flying over our country not so long ago and being allowed into our airspace.
Yes.
Genius from New Jersey said, well, what would have been shot down over your house, over your family house? Well, it'll have to be shot down over anyone's family house, but because we want to save the country, the masses, those people would be considered casualties of war.
Mm-hmm.
And as for what's going on in the country, we are giving you all of the crayons and the lines of the painting in order to just fill it in. We're doing that for you.
Who is the we are talking about? You said
we are the American people. We the American people are giving the Democrats, the liberals on the most part, not all of the Democrats are this stupid like the guy from Jersey.
Yeah.
Want to see all of the facts. Remember, actions. We're telling you what happened through actions, not what was said to someone by words. It isn't about Trump. It is about the people. Take Trump out of the picture. Pretend he's your uncle. It is the actions of what these people are doing. Remember I said as soon as Barack went out of presidency, we saw boobs on the front lawn.
Well, you know what I'm wondering? All this talk, Obama's letters about, fantasies and stuff, the gay sex. I'm wondering if Obama's behind all this transgender stuff going on. Yeah, he made, it was Obama who made gay marriage legal. Remember that?
The bottom line point is, yes, I do. The bottom line point is to tag on a Patty from Jersey and Richie to summarize this. We simply don't want deviants and people who don't care about us. Remember, we're dealing with these kinds of people that doesn't go the American system and American way. These are socialists. These are people like the Chinese. These are people like the Russians. They are buddies. Okay, we don't want that. So we want an American person in the presidency that wants to help us, not to further step on us like.
That's right. All right, Ivy. I'm going to move on because there's a lot. Every line is lit and we're short on time. Thanks for your call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Judd. Just let you know that last guy you had on went right over. Marty the Watchdog.
No, that was not Marty the Watchdog. That was not Marty the Watchdog. Okay. All right. Yeah, but I know that's not Marty the Watchdog. Let's see here. I'm trying to take these in the order in which they were received because some people have been on hold for a long time. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Caller?
Brian?
Caller?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you.
Yeah, you're on the air live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is New York. I just want to say something to the gentleman from Jersey.
Jay from Jersey.
Yeah. Thanks to President Trump for with DeSantis, all Florida would have had Gillum, who was living the same lifestyle as Obama. You know?
Oh, Andrew Gillum. Yes. He was going to be Obama 2.0. Andrew Gillum. That's exactly right. Trump saved us from Andrew Gillum. You're correct. Thank you for your call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey. Yes, Brian. All right.
Hello.
Steve's all right too, Brian.
Brian, go ahead.
Are you okay, Brian? Are you okay?
Hi, Brian. But listen, this is, you guys hit a huge story today. I follow politics a lot. I never heard about this Beau Biden connection.
No.
The rest of this guy, Larry Sinclair. You know, I'm going to speculate a little bit more. What was going to come out from that sheriff about what was going on in that house in the Hamptons, too?
Well, the Beau Biden part is not speculation. He was Attorney General of Delaware, and during Larry Sinclair's press conference, he was arrested on a Delaware warrant for larceny in D.C. and extradited. So that's not speculation. That happened. What are the odds of that being a coincidence?
Well, a coincidence, I guess they call it politically. This is a gigantic story, and the fact that Tucker is taking the lead on this, because he's not only he's a beloved journalist, he's the most credible journalist we got out there. The other thing is, I'm wondering, you know, Greg Kelly came on and said that he has some information on Biden that could really bring him down. Are we talking something along these lines?
Well, Greg Kelly last week said there was something coming out, and maybe this was it. He said soon, couple of weeks. He said in the next couple of weeks. And we're a week or so into later.
This is gigantic. Let me tell you, what a great hour for a talk radio, because you guys are connecting the dots.
Great hour. What about the first 2 hours? Don't you mean great 3 hours?
I started when I got here.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks for the call. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. I want to tell Steve, this is an amazing sale going on at mypillow.com on the mattresses. Listen to this. Now, this is with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. All MyPillow mattresses, and he has mattresses in every mattress size and every type of two-sided mattresses, coil mattresses, foam mattresses. If there's a mattress, MyPillow has it, and they're the best. All mattresses, just this week, this will be over this week, 50% off. All mattresses, and another $100 off the 50% with the promo code KANE at checkout. All MyPillow mattresses, 50% off, and another $100 off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E at mypillow.com. This week only. Mike Lindell's office called me. It will be this week only and will be over. They never give me a cutoff date that specific. They did this time. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. I'm not talking about the mattress topper. I'm talking about actual mattresses. 50% off and an extra $100 on top of the 50% off with our promo code KANE. 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. It's Tony from Boston, and Steve.
Hey, Tony, we're short on time, so you got to get to it.
I'm glad you got me in here. This is very important. You have to Google the name Don D-O-N Young /Obama.
Don Young Obama. Okay.
Young /Obama, and take this up tomorrow. And also, DOMA was the other the Defense of Marriage Act that was passed under Clinton, making it where the federal government did not recognize same-sex marriage. Well, that was repealed or struck down under Obama.
That's correct. All right, listen, thanks for the call. All right, let me see if I can squeeze one more in. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Sarah.
Sarah? 30 seconds.
So,
Also, why is Michelle in Mallorca right now?
Yeah, she went. Yeah, she left the country.
So Tucker's also going to do it. Also, I heard he's going to do an interview with his brother. The guy from Kenya. He's going to.
Really? He's going to interview. Tucker's going to interview Obama's brother with another month. Oh, that's great. All right, listen. Thanks for the call. Yeah, I forgot about that, Steve. Michelle left for a Mediterranean vacation. She's out of the country. She doesn't want to be in the country when this interview breaks today. So the Tucker Carlson interview with Larry Sinclair is on Twitter at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Steve Kane, of course, has been here today. My name is Brian Craig, and we'll be back tomorrow, and it'll be the after-interview show tomorrow. We've only just gotten a little sneak peek today, and look what happened. I hope that Tucker gets into the Beau Biden connection, too. It's the Steve Kane Show. God bless America, and God bless Donald Trump. See you tomorrow.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown.
All right, guys, I got to run, but click the notification bell. I'm going to do a stream from the car when I get to the car, okay? See you in a bit.